Hi guys, this is Karan this side. So today we'll solve problem number 54, spiral matrix of LeetCode. Now what does this problem say is given an matrix m into n, written all the elements of matrix in spiral order. Now the problem looks very complicated, but it is, I think, most easiest matrix problem. Like, it is not most easiest, but if you understand once, you'll understand every time. See what they have given us, a matrix. Now we have to traverse the matrix in a way and return it in the answer as the traversal. Now how we will traverse from the first row to last column, from last column to last row to first first column to last row to first column. So this is a kind of traversal in a spiral way. They have given us like a circular. You could see in this 1 2 3 4 4 8 12 11 10 9 5 6 7. So this is a kind of circular pattern or a spiral pattern we have to return from this. Now if you could just understand one thing in this problem, we have to print the numbers in a format of first row to last column to last row to, like, it is nothing but just printing of numbers from first to last to first, just according to rows and column. There's nothing in this problem, so we'll directly start. Like, firstly we'll find out the total number of rows. So matrix size will get the total number of rows. Similarly we'll get total number of column, but matrix set 0 dot size. Okay, now as we have to traverse, I'll give you every step by step. Firstly I'll go for an easy solution. As we know that we have to traverse from first row to last. Now if I say about 1 2 3 in a single, just imagine it is just a one single array 1 2 3. So it is, what is it? It's just one row. So we'll take simple, like, first row I'm writing is fr, that is first row, and start from the 0. First column will start from 0. Similarly last row lr will move till row minus 1, and similarly last column will move till column minus 1. Okay, so now what are we doing? Firstly just giving just giving the numbers of rows and columns that we could go till first row could traverse till the last row, first column could traverse till uh, last column. So similarly what we'll do, we'll form a while loop. Now the condition for the while loop, I'll tell you what we'll write it, but firstly what thing, for every single row how we will print, I'll make you understand that. For example, for 1 2 3, that is our first row. Now in this first row, if we simply think how we will print it out in our first row, we'll simply run a loop that will start from that it is our first row. But what is varying? Our column is varying. For 1 it is column number 1, for 2 it is column number 2, for 3 it is column number 3. So our column is varying from for the first row, and row is same. So what we'll do, we'll vary our I for the column, that will start from the first column fc, and I is less than equal to last column, and I plus plus. And simply we'll make one answer also, vector, so that we could push our answer in the vector. Oh, I'm so sorry, int vector answer. So we'll just push ans dot push back matrix at now we know that matrix at first row is same every time, and what is varying, our column is varying, so we'll write that in it. Now we have to do some further calculation also, but I'll make you understand like step by step. Now if we have completed our first row, now what we have to do next is our we have to print our last column. So last column we have to print, right? So in this last column you can see our last column is not varying, it is same, but our row is varying. So we'll start our I from first row, and it will iterate till the last row, and I plus plus. In this what will push back, start push back matrix at. Now we know that what is iterating the row, so we'll write I as it is iterating, and we have the last column as similar. Okay, there's things are remaining to put up, but we'll write it down later. Now similarly, now our last column is finished. Now we'll print our last row. In last row, our last row is same, but our column is varying. But in this column, the column is going from last column to the first. So we'll run the loop, like we'll run the loop from last to first. So our loop will start from last column and will end at the first column I minus minus, and we'll just push back whatever we could get, because either we could just print it out or we could just push back in a vector for our answer. Now we know that our last row is same, but our column is varying. Okay, and similarly we have to print our now first column. For first column, now it is also going from backward to upward, from down to up, so we'll run a loop from last row, that is LR, till first row I minus minus, and we'll push the answer into matrix at. Now we know that our column is same, but what is varying, our row is varying, so we'll write row as I and column will be same as first column. So this is how we will print out each and every column. Now what is the main point, why, till when we will run this loop, like while loop, till where it will run? So what we'll do, as we know that in mn to n number of rows into column, so the total number of the matrix will be m into n, right? In total will be m into n, it won't go further than that. And now we are starting our count. We'll start our count variable, that will take 0. It will go till total, like count is less than total, and in each and every for loop will what we'll do, simply for every uh, loop will increment the count variable, so that if at any point, if our total gets less than or equal to, like equal to, count get to equal to total, that means the we don't have to push back any other thing. The loop should break over there and we should go out of the while loop and we should just return the answer. Now there is one more major thing we are missing over here. We'll just put it over here also, that because if at any time it might happen that count might get like in this at you could see 4 5 at every loop. We will check that if at any loop it is getting it is it less than the total. Otherwise what might happen, it might overflow and give up compile time error. Now one more thing we have to remember, that if first row is our like we have, whenever we our first row is done, last column is done, we are not incrementing or decrementing our rows and column. So whenever our first row is printed, what we'll do, we'll simply increment our first row, because now it the first row is done, we don't have to come back and again on it. Similarly last column is our printed, so we'll decrement our last column. Similarly last row is printed, so we will decrement our last column. We will not do it inside the loop because it will get every time in the loop decrement, but we have it is same. Okay, now similarly first column is printed, so we'll increment first column. Okay, remember that column last one will decrement, so this will be row. Last, the one at the from the last will decrement and from the first will increment, and will return simply our answer. Looks very big but is very easy. Okay, and let's run it. Let's see if we done it. I'm into, oh, a small mistake we took here, row and we write here. Okay, total will be row into column, right? And it is getting accepted. Yes, so this very easy kind of question. Just you have to understand this is nothing but you have first row, first column, last column. So from first row you will move till last column, from last column you will move till last row you will move till first column you will move till first row. So this is just like a spiral. You are moving from one row to another, the one row to another row or one column to another. Just remember one thing, that every time you just have to total number of count, also you have to maintain that. If at any time the count get greater than or equal to total, you have to just finish up, like end the loop over here and return your answer. And this is all about spiral metrics. Thank you.